welcome aquí.
We are back. I am so excited. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
I'm legit. I'm like, this has been a year and a half now that we've gotten to do this. And I know you guys love hanging out with me in this setting. Like,
do,
I feel
actually.
like TJ looks forward to it, right?
Very much so.
So for all the new listeners, we have taken a little bit of a hiatus, new and old listeners. Life Beyond Sunday, it's been like a year and a half.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
A little bit of time.
And I don't understand why it took so long. It's not like anything important happened in your life or any change, or you guys didn't experience anything.
Same old, you know.
So tell us a little bit, just to catch everybody up, what has happened in the last year or two, give or take, kind of put us up to speed.
I mean, I guess probably not everybody really knows our journey and our story, but for, I don't know, TJ and I have been married almost 26 years. It'll be 26 years this year. And for the majority of that, we were never able to have children. And just kind of fast forward to 14 months ago, we adopted a little girl named Collins, and it has completely flipped our life upside down on top of each other, just crazy. And we've been navigating new life and new season. It has changed a lot about pretty much every area of our life.
Yep. So we're actually going to talk about today, like what it is when something, when a change of season happens, either expected or unexpected.
Right.
But I do have to ask, like, what changed? Because there is actually a podcast episode where we're talking about, like, if you guys ever had kids, what would you name your kids? I think TJ said like Mercedes, which thank God you said Collins, right? Which I think, no offense to the Mercedes out there, but you know.
We ended up naming a dog Mercedes years and years ago.
We don't want to reuse it.
We had a black lab named Mercedes, so we'd always say we had a black Mercedes.
That's a good way to do it. So yeah, what changed? Because you guys were, when I asked you guys like, oh, what is it like in the waiting or something? I think you guys said, well, I don't even think we would want kids now because we would be like glorified grandparents were the words you guys said. So what happened, right?
Oh, you want me to talk? Really, like, for so much of TJ and I's journey in life and not being able to have kids, we always felt like we were never really to pursue, in a sense, making that happen. Not that there's anything wrong with it, not that there's not methods that you use, when you go through infertility or any of that. But we had always said, like, hey, if it's meant to be for our life, then God's just going to kind of make that thing happen. And as many people know, like, we did foster care because we were like, you know what, we have room in our house, we have room in our heart, let's make a difference for a child. And in that, there was lots of pain and difficulty and loss because you love a kid and then, that kid is gone and you have to release them. And so there was a lot of pain behind our journey of foster care, but also so much beauty in that. And after we had walked that season again, I think we were just like, you know what, if God wants us to have a kid, then that's just going to kind of come to us. But at this point, we're actually content in life like that. We don't feel like that's going to be a thing that's going to complete us or kind of make any kind of huge like impact on who we are. Boy, you're wrong in that.
Yeah, 100%.
But let's see. It was it August of 2024? Somebody had reached out to us and just said, hey, my sister's pregnant and wants to give the baby.
2 days before that, a foster care agency reached out and said, hey, we have a kid that's being born right now. You're the first phone call we made. will you take them? And I
Yeah,
was
will
like,
you adopt them?
Can I call you back?
And we were like, God, what is this? Like we've really just kind of like sealed our hearts in this, and like that's not something that we're pursuing. It's not something that we need. And so I think we called them back to get more information, because we're like, hey, if we don't do this, there's other people in our church that we know actively would adopt in this situation. And so by the time we had called back, they had already found somebody that was going to adopt that baby. So we're like, okay, whew, you know, maybe that wasn't God. We also got an email from Charlotte Gamble, who is somebody that's invested heavily and spoken into our life and just invested in our church. And she had sent us a message that just said, hey, like, God has had you guys on my heart, and I've just been praying for you guys. And I feel like God has a season for you, and he's going to open up some doors that you never thought possible. And whatever he does is going to bring you this incredible sense of joy and reward for your life. And I think in this season, you just need to trust that the Holy Spirit will show you what his hand is on. And we were like, that is
really
bizarre.
generic.
Yeah. Like, is this church? Is this like, I don't know what this is. And so we were just like, okay, God, like, you know what that is. Let your Holy Spirit kind of reveal that to us. So we had this foster, this 4 kids thing. And then a couple days after that, we get a message on Instagram that's just like, hey, my sister is 6 months pregnant with a baby girl, and she wants to give her baby up for adoption. And we'd love to know if you guys would adopt her. They had heard our story through a family member that had attended our church, early on in the life of our church. And we were like, I was like, TJ, I just got this message from this person that I have no idea who it is. It's just random text message. And so I responded to her, and I was just like, hey, I'm willing to have a conversation, because I was like, I don't want to just pass this up. God, there's too many like signs and things pointing to like that you're going to open a door for something. And I don't just want to be like, nope, not even considering that. Mm-hmm. This is weird. So I ended up having a conversation with her, and her sister, who was pregnant, got on the call at the same time. And I remember in that conversation just feeling confused, but also at peace at the same time. And I remember hanging up the phone call, and TJ had heard most of it. And I just said, TJ, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, I'm conflicted. And he just looked at me, and he was like, I love being a dad. And I was like, oh, okay, I think we're going to do this. And to make a long story a little bit shorter, God ordained every single detail. I mean, the birth mom of Collins she's an incredible woman who made a huge sacrifice, but she constantly would say, she's like, I know that this child is supposed to be yours. Mm-hmm. Like, this child was intended to be in your family. And like, I'm so grateful that you guys are adopting her. And even to the point where there was an OBGYN that was in our church that was able to do all the prenatal care for Collins' birth mother, and then was able to deliver Collins. And so he's a huge part of our story. And TJ and I were able to be in the room when she was born, and just like so many just incredible things along the way that just showed us like God's hand is completely in this. Mm-hmm. And then we adopted her, brought her home. And I mean, I'm skipping, there's a lot of detail in this that I could cover, but I think the gist of it is like God just kind of orchestrated every step, not without fear or apprehension, because we had been through a lot. We were honest with her birth mom, like, hey, I'm scared you're going to change your mind. I'm scared you're going to, like, there's all these things at risk as we put our heart out there. Mm-hmm. But Collins has now been a part of our family. She's 14 months old, and you can tell this little girl was handpicked to be TJ's child. No.
In what way exactly?
She is fearless.
She is.
Fearless.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a little stubborn, or no?
No, I wouldn't say she's stubborn. I would say she's a leader.
Okay.
She's a leader.
Would you agree, Shayla?
I would say she is persistent.
We're all watching our words very carefully right now.
She knows what she wants.
She knows what
She
she
knows
wants.
what she wants, and she's going to let you know what she wants until you give in to give it to her.
Right.
I call that leadership.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. I mean, it's a leadership quality.
It is a leadership quality.
And what do you guys think was the biggest change? I mean, I think kids are always
Well,
a
it
blessing.
wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think kids are always a blessing, right? And so as we talk about adjustment and change, we don't want to diminish that aspect, but they do come. They don't come with a manual, and they come with, a new set of, I don't want to use the word challenges, but changes.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So what do you guys think was the biggest kind of change that you had to adapt to?
I mean, it's just getting over our own selfishness. Yeah. I mean, we have
25
years of doing things for ourselves, our way, not really thinking about another individual besides each other. And all of a sudden, we're having to create our life around that. And we both had a tendency to be workaholics. And so we had to, not because we love work, but we just love what we do. So it was like, now we're trying to manage, how do we fulfill our calling and raise a child in a way that we want to raise her.
Right.
And commitments we've made in raising her of, no screens, and the entertainment in life is us, not a TV or an iPad or a phone. So that's a lot of a requirement for us. But that commitment to her development is huge for us. That's what we wanted to make that investment.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to have more kids. This is it. So it's like, let's do it right every way we can.
Are you sure you're
Yeah.
100%. People would come to me and be like, Shayla, I think it's 2. I was like, I have 2. I have Alexander, who is my foster son, and I have Collins.
Yeah. What about 3? I mean, 3 is a great.
Kelly, shut your mouth.
Kelly, what about 3 for you?
I am not the problem.
Okay.
My husband is. So I'm the wrong.
He's the problem.
Not the problem. I'm sorry. That came out wrong.
Wow,
that came
wow.
out so wrong. I meant he didn't. I would have had one more. He was done. He was done. So, but now I'm done too, because my kids are self-sufficient.
I mean, there's always adoption.
Yeah.
I am open. I was open to that. Now they're too self-sufficient. Now they get ready. They eat by themselves. I don't have to. We're in a different phase in life now. But up until maybe a year ago, I was still like, maybe one more. now I'm like, no, the girls are just easy right now. And so, but what do you think on a practical level was like, I was used to doing this. Because, freedom is very like broad, like, or you were saying maybe freedom wasn't the word that you used, but like just I think you said I had to overcome my own selfishness because I was used to just.
I'm still overcoming my own selfishness. It hasn't, I've overcome it. I am still overcoming.
It's a daily process.
It is a daily
25 years of just
dying
the 2 of us.
to myself.
More so than marriage.
Way more
Yes.
than marriage. I chose Shayla. And my commitment to her is forever. Same. I mean, I'm committed to my daughter as well forever, but I know she's going to leave one day. So I've got a season with her that I need to make an investment, but I'm still super committed to this, which means like, how do I balance those commitments out? And we had built such an amazing rhythm of things that we would do that enhanced our relationship that we've had to refigure all that stuff out. And that's been hard when we could just be like, hey, let's pick up right now and just let's go do something. Like, let's go away for 2 days on our days off. Well, we can't really do that now. That's not available. So we've got to.
Let's just sit down and read a book or watch a show or no.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Because of commitments we've made to our daughter. So it's like, oh man, we've had to reorient and change everything that we would do. And that hasn't been a bad thing. It's just been different.
Yeah.
And teaching an old dog new tricks sometimes is not very quick.
Would you agree that that's kind of your same?
100%. 100%. And it's a different, a different rhythm for work, a different rhythm. You know, there's parts where, I mean, we've had to have lots of conversations on give and take and things, because before we could give equally in a way. And now there has to be some balance to that, and some things that we're juggling and trying to figure out on how do we both give the best of ourselves to all of it, you know, and not just pieces. And so it's been,
every day is a negotiation. Can I have this and you do this and this? I mean,
Yes.
literally.
Well, even small things like, you know, we're used to forever early morning prayer in January's.
Right.
We've always seen both of you every
Right.
single day.
Right.
And now with Collins, you know, we don't see both
Yep.
of you. And
Yep.
so I'm sure that that's a conversation at home, like who
Yes.
goes, who
Right.
stays, right? And well, sometimes Saturdays both of you are here. but-
Saturdays, both of us tried to be here.
but I am grateful because TJ is a very committed person, whether it's father, husband, pastor, you know, whatever it is. And he is very involved in Colin's life and in the life of our home. And that is a huge blessing, you know, to me, that I know doesn't fall, you know, amiss.
Yeah.
And, you know, recently, I think actually TJ shared this verse with me, but he's like, I think this is actually our problem. But because we were just struggling through some of it, you know, and there's a verse in the Bible, and it's not talking about this specifically. It's actually talking about salvation and following Jesus, but it says you have to lose your life in order to gain it. And it's something that I've consistently reminded myself of in this season. If I don't lose my life, my past life in a way, I won't gain what I have before me. And so for me, it's just been this constant surrender of like, no, Shayla, lose your life, lose that part of your life so that you can gain this new piece, this new part. And I think a lot of times we hold so tightly, and it hinders us from what God wants to do in the current season.
Yeah.
So I've tried to teach myself to let go.
Yeah. And what do you think, like, for people who are dealing with change, right, with a new season, I think, how do you prepare for the unexpected, or how do you embrace that, or what are some of the key things that you guys would tell? Like, I'm going through a new season in my house, right? We're making some changes and it's new, and as much as I try to prepare for the unexpected, I don't know what the unexpected is. So what would you tell me, like, Kelly, in order to set yourself up for success in a new season? You know, this is some practical advice. This is some things that I think worked for us, that I think are going to work for you, not just in the dynamic of, I feel like we could spend just an hour talking about the dynamic of marriage and children. And I think we do need to dive into that and on a separate episode, because there's just so much there. But in the season, like in practical changes in your life, whether it be a job or a move or a new child or, you know, whatever, or even a loss, right? A loss in a family or a friend. Or a change in ministry. What would you say is some practical advice to like prepare for that or deal with that?
I don't know that there's necessarily any way to prepare for change. But I think if you're married, this is, for us, has been helpful. We have talked a ton, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is what we've talked a lot about, our struggles with each other, so that we know, hey, this is where we're struggling. How can we encourage? Like, I knew Shayla was struggling with that. I'm struggling with the same thing. And so, like, anytime I was getting encouraged by something, we're texting it to each other. We're reminding each other of the bigger goal at hand. And I think that that's super helpful in managing that change, but also it's just going, hey, this is a different season. And sometimes we're just walking into unknowns. And so we've got to expect the unexpected.
I think some of it too is like, it is a little bit of what you just said that I don't think you said, is like having.
Can't wait to hear what I just said that I didn't know I said.
No, it's not really a goal, but like, where are you trying to go in this season? And like having a target or a vision for that season of your life, so that when the unexpected does come and the difficulty does come, that there's something that you can go back to and remember why, you know, like the the word that Charlotte Gamble shared for us. I go back to that this is going to bring me a sense of joy and reward. This is going to bring me a sense of joy and reward, you know?
But I think part of that though also is that when it comes up unexpected, you've got to be willing to let go of your previous plans. Like, I mean, if we're honest, we had mapped out, hey, we're going to retire here. We're going to do this here. We're going to do this here. Like we had our entire future mapped out. And now I have a 14-month-old.
Yeah.
That kind of just messed up my entire plan.
That's great because Coastal has you for like 20 years now.
but it's like,
and there's a greater purpose in that.
And there's a greater purpose in that. And so like my old plan, I've got to be willing, like I got to hold that open-handed because ultimately many are the plans in a man's heart, but it's the Lord who directs his path, right? Is what Proverbs tells us. And so like those were my plans, but at the end of the day, I want to be on the path the Lord has for me. And so I don't want to hold too tightly to my plan when God's got a better plan for that. And so I want to be adaptable in that but the adaptability is painful. Like, so just know that when you're going through a season of transition, there's going to be a lot of pain because there's loss. But there's also going to be a lot of growth out of that. Growth in areas that you didn't even know you need to grow in. And it's going to make you stronger in life.
Well, and I think it's whether you're a family, whether you're a couple, whether you're single, I do think it is knowing where you want to go in that season and like having a vision for that season. It's like, you know, when I was single, I had made a list of what I wanted in a husband, you know, like, and so that kept me going.
And then you got married and had to let go of the list. No, I'm kidding.
So that I could be intentional in that season that when, oh, this guy came up, nope, that's not the right guy. You know, it's this. And the same thing in this season of our life is why we're having this is the child we want to raise. And so these are the decisions we have to make. So when it's tempting to do this, the answer is no, because this is where we want to be, you know? Like
on Saturday, we were like, you ever have those days where it's just like, this day is the never ending day. It feels like it's 6 o'clock. It's 11 a.m. You know, and you're just like, I just want to turn on the TV and let them watch TV.
Right.
But we've made a commitment. We're not letting TV raise our kid. So what are we going to do? You know, like, and that's where we got to
put them to sleep.
No, I'm kidding. That's why we had to grit our teeth
and go outside and we're going to go to the park
and do this and do like, why? Because we made a commitment that we're going to raise her and we're the entertainment.
Is there something that you guys, this question just came to me, like, is there something that you had to let go of? Like, because you're taking in this new season, you're making some decisions, maybe not freedom, but something that you had to let go of that brought you a feeling of guilt. Like just maybe I can't be at work as much, or I have to like hand this off, or this is something that I'm used to doing and I can't do it anymore. And how did you deal with that? Because a lot of times in a new season, you also have to like let go of something. And sometimes that brings you just this struggle of like, well, I should be doing everything. And this is, you know, so how did you, I
feel like that was in everything, you know, some of it for us uniquely was like, okay, most of the friends that we were close to, you know, a lot of them have grown kids and we're out of the people we vacation with and all of that. And it's like, okay, that relationship looks different now because we've had to, you know, it's work, right? I would particularly me, like TJ would come early in the morning too, but I get my best work done early in the morning. Well, I can't do that now. And so it's been having to let go of that. And I like to model it in my workplace. So it's like, if I'm going to ask somebody else to do it, then I need to be doing it. And I want to lead the way in that. And there's some of that I've just had to surrender, you know, and that's been a hard thing for me to let go of. So yeah. You?
Oh, I mean, this in my career point, this past year, I've had more opportunities that are like the dream opportunity for somebody as a pastor. I mean, I got invited to speak at more conferences, go to more things, be a part of that. I had to say no to all those things. Like they're the things that everybody dreams of getting to do. and I was getting all those invites, and I had to say no because we were so committed to this is what is most important in this season. That was hard.
Yeah.
Because you've worked to get to that point. And then to realize, no, this isn't the best thing for me in this season.
Yeah.
It was hard because I would be sitting at home.
no's.
I would be sitting on the floor with Collins, and she'd be frustrated. I'd be like, I could be speaking at a conference right now.
I could be on a golf trip.
I could be on a golf trip with the top pastors in the nation, learning and growing, or I could be overseas right now with these people, and just the realities of it.
Yeah. And to kind of wrap it up, like if you had to, how would you say that like your purpose or your mission or your overall purpose, has it changed? And how are you dealing with that change if it has changed? Like, do you have just an additional purpose or mission, or are you equally juggling both, like your ministry, your career, and this new thing? Or no, I've had to let go of this a little bit so I could embrace this. Like,
well, I think it's just an additional responsibility.
Yeah,
I would say the mission has never changed. The responsibility has.
No, yeah.
So God has just given, as I've been faithful with this responsibility, God's just given me more responsibility.
Yeah.
I think it's the parable of the talents. If I'm faithful here and grow this, He'll give me more talents. Just the talent He gave me was an infant.
Mm-hmm. But I think the purpose is just multiplied. When I look at Collins, I see an entrustment of some incredible purpose in a little girl, and I don't think He's released us from any of the mission, vision, purpose that He has had pretty much our entire life, as much as it is giving us another purpose to steward. And I think it's going to be a really, even at a young age, we can see it in her, and I think that part is exciting to know, like, we're stewarding this life and this opportunity, and it's equally as important for us to steward that as it is the life of our church.
Yeah. Well, she's a future first impression something, because she loves staying out there.
Oh, man, she loves high-fiving.
Girl wants to be on stage.
She wants to
everything.
And everybody wants to talk to her. So we all stand outside and we're like, good morning. No one cares. We're like sliced liver up there, and they're all about Collins. I think even you two get less attention now after you've had her.
It's like,
right?
how's Collins?
Yeah.
And what's one thing that you're doing to like keep that you do for yourself, that you would say, hey, this is something that I do for myself to keep myself like just making sure that I'm getting refreshed, and besides being in the Word? Because I know you guys are very consistent about that, but like that's not the.
We're not that spiritual.
I mean, I think
we are consistent.
We are consistent. I'd say, working out has been really, and we do that together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have tried to get away every month for a day or two, just the two of us. And thank goodness we have some incredible babysitters that have stepped into our life that are just like, hey, we want to help you be able to have a moment of refreshment. Shout out Mel, shout out Rachel.
Yes.
You guys are godsends.
Yes. We don't want to be those people that, you give really good advice, but you don't follow it, and so we've tried to really be committed to continuing to have date nights, and then continuing to get away with each other and continue to invest in our marriage first. Yeah.
I thought the answer was going to be like a massage or something, but no, we
we get those too.
I don't feel like I have really time to go run and do that
anymore.
If they would open up at like 3 a.m. maybe.
No one wakes up that early except for you, TJ. There would be nobody with an appointment at that time besides you and
so
maybe
it's always
Shayla.
available.
Yeah, or it's not a place you want to be.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you. I had fun. Are you guys happy we're back?
I think so.
I could do this for another hour, but I know that when I run too long, Shayla gives me like a side evil eye. I feel like I was already going to start to get it. So I probably should have done this on the front end, but a few changes. We are actually going to be putting the podcast out once a month. And it's going to be the first Wednesday of every month. And so you guys know consistently where to find us. And there's one little change. If you've been following us on the Life Beyond Sunday channel, now you're going to find us on the Coastal channel. So you guys just go right on to Coastal Community Church or our YouTube channel, subscribe, and that's where we'll be meeting you guys. And so we'll see you next month. And I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
All right.
See you guys.
Thank you.